Hey folks, this is Matt Rainwater here, and today we're going to do some coloring. I've already done a lot of the coloring for this page, but I am now going to do some shading. So today, y'all can, if y'all have the time, if y'all are willing, I appreciate it always when you want to hang out. Um, I'm just going to put in some shadows here on some stuff. So just to give y'all a little context, hold on, give me a second. Give y'all a little context. This first one, two, three, four, this 5 panel sequence here is basically a commercial. So I'm going to open up season 3 with a commercial Jake has made for his business, and what's going to end up happening is we cut to, and I haven't put the image here on the TV screen yet, but we're going to cut to Bev watching the commercial on this TV screen, and we see Jake here watching it with Bev, and then we go from there. What happens? I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna leave that as a secret for now. But let me get this set up real quick. Get my pencil tool. Probably, I don't think y'all can see any of that right now. No. I'll have to make sure I have the proper settings next time I do this so that you can see all the tools that I'm using. Unfortunately, I didn't have it set up like that today, so my apologies, but I'll remember next time. Anyway, got my pencil tool, and I'm just going to go in and start putting down some shadows. And so, what's going on, right? As usual, it's always the question on everybody's mind. Um, well, last week went to go visit my dad. I think I mentioned this in the previous video, and about as I predicted, we watched some movies, and it was me, my dad, and my sister just hanging out for Father's Day, and we had a good time. We went shopping, got some new clothes. I got this. You can't even probably see this T-shirt. Let's see if you can. If I stand up like this, I don't know. Can you see it? It's like a rooster design. You probably can't see it that well. I was gonna give it a try, give it a shot. But we went to this place called Massey's. I've never been to one before, but I don't know if it was like a local thing or what. But kind of reminded me of REI. They have, I don't know where they have REIs, but they're like a outdoor clothing and outdoor goods co-op. So I'm sure there's some in Colorado. I'm sure there's one everywhere. They're a pretty popular store for how premium they are. But kind of remind me of that, just with a lot less camping gear. But they had some cool. I don't know. It's my kind of clothing, I guess, for whatever reason. I like outdoor clothing type stuff. It's usually like very comfortable. Uh, I like some of the colors you usually have on offer. A lot of brown, green, stuff like that. Cause I'm a hippie. I mean, let's be frank. I'm a hippie, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Anyway, um, so we did that, and then I got and then I got conned into getting like a Banana Republic card, which I'm gonna have to actually need to cancel uh, next week. But I thought it was just like a discount card kind of thing. And as I was checking out, it occurred to me this is actually a credit card. And I was kind of stunned standing there as it slowly dawned on me like what was happening, like what I signed up for. I was like, oh, this is odd that you need my social security number. Oh, this is why do you need my income? And then I found out. So I'm gonna cancel it because I hate credit cards. Avoid them as best you can, if you can. I know not everybody can, but I highly recommend it. Because I just recently this year paid off, I mean, it wasn't that much credit card debt in the grand scheme of things, but for me it was. And it was a pain in the butt, let me tell you. So, anyway, did that and had a nice dinner, steak and wine kind of thing. As I had predicted, we just hung around, drank, watched movies, fell asleep, like took a nap while watching Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. Not the most interesting of the Indiana Jones movies, I gotta admit. Temple of Doom has got weird energy because it's like the goofiest one, and I think it's probably the one that like George Lucas had the most involvement with. I don't know this for a fact, but it just seems like it. There are things I like about like I want to say that the opening scene takes place in Shanghai, and it's an interesting, like, that scene's really interesting, especially in like the portrayal. Whether or not it's an accurate portrayal, I don't know, but I can't say. Portrayal of like Shanghai and I guess it'd be 1940s. I'm not sure of the timeline, but anyway, the way it seemed like a pretty wild time, right? I mean, how could it not? For everybody involved, even though Indiana Jones isn't a real person and none of the people in it were real. But so watched that and took a nap and hold on, sorry y'all, just had a little brain fart for a second, and that was about it. Gotta be honest. And it was good though, because it was just a relaxing time. Didn't really do a whole lot, and I needed that break. I went three whole days without working, and it felt odd for a little bit. And then as I sank into the lull of it, it was nice. Needed a break before I start season 3, which I've done now. So that catches y'all up with my week. So what's the plan for season 3? Good question. I think I talked about this last week. I have all the beats set up. I'm not going to really go into that in this video, maybe later on. I don't want to give away too much, but let's speak to, I can speak to what I am. I don't know, give me a second here. I'm trying to think of like what's the best way to talk about how I'm working on things right now. I don't know why, but I just feel very tight-lipped about season 3. I guess because it's going to be a couple months, and it's going to be about 2.5 months. That's what I keep telling people. And it feels like a long time. Feels like a lot of anticipation to build up. And it feels so early for me. Like, personally, it feels very early to publicly talk about what I'm thinking about in season 3. Because there are a lot of factors that could possibly change. Like, I already started on, well, I'll talk about this. So I already started on it. I started thumbnailing, putting out the beats for an episode. It's about 5 episodes from where I currently am. And originally, I mean, the episode's definitely going to involve the Mancers Union. But previously, it was going to involve, like, something like dream magic. And as I've been writing and thinking about, like, how I want season 3 to be different from season 2, I was like, well, you know what? The whole dream thing, maybe let's alter that a bit, because we did a lot of that in season 2. I don't really want to do a whole lot of dream type sequences. I don't want to do too much surrealistic stuff since we did so much of it in season 2. So I'm kind of backing off from that idea, and the current premise, and I haven't really written it out entirely, but I like where it's going, is that Jake will be getting, like, certification for wand. Now, there's a lot still I have to work out, but just that premise alone has there's a lot of implication to the idea. There's a lot of potential humor that I can work with there. Basic idea being, like, wands are kind of treated like, I don't know, some kind of heavy equipment or a gun or something, you know, where you have to do some amount of, you have to get a license for it, that kind of a thing. So I like that idea. It gives some, I mean, basically, I don't know. I always like the idea of some of the humor being around magic as a regulated type thing. And maybe on some level, I'm going to be using that as analogy to real world stuff, but not really. I mean, it's more just about humor. It's more about, I think an aspect of humor that's going to pop up a little more over time is sort of poking at and juxtaposing, you know, issues that we have in our daily lives with bureaucracy. So, like, there's going to be, in this sequence is already going to be, like, this panel here is going to be something like tired of the IRS and bureaumancers getting involved in your finances, and then have, like, some kind of tag with, like, one call can change it all, just like magic. And I think that kind of, I like that idea because it sort of pinpoints to the world building I want to do in here in this story. Because, I mean, season 1 starts off very, like, we don't really have a full context of how involved magic is in this world. And part of that reason is that I myself didn't really know. It's something that I'm having to develop over time as I'm writing this. I didn't create the entire world all at once. And some people like that kind of process where it's very organic, and, you know, the writer discovers along with the audience, you know, what's going on. There's some people who don't like that, but I like it from a creative standpoint, and I'm sure it will make for a certain amount of, like, incongruities. Probably certain things might seem like they don't quite entirely match up, but I mean, this is kind of an absurd comic anyway. I mean, literally season 2 we spent months going through weird fake timelines, and all kinds of stuff. I mean, they're Equimancers. Need I say more? I don't think so. But so yeah, that's what's going on with season 3 so far. If y'all like polls, I put up a poll on my Twitter just a couple minutes, well, I guess at this point it'll be probably an hour ago. Um, I was thinking about this poll idea while I was working out yesterday, and I basically had 3 television options available to me, and they were as follows: Family Feud, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and Local News. Now, my poll is asking which of those 3 would you pick? I'm not going to tell y'all which one I picked. Not yet. I will, when the poll is complete, I will answer. As for Twitter, I'm actually, I used to check it like pretty frequently, and now I'm going to only check it once a day, maybe twice a day. Previously, I was checking it like 4 or 5 times a day, and I noticed that over time my mental health just started like diving. It's because there's a lot of intense emotions going on Twitter, and a lot of them are incredibly legitimate emotions, and a lot are not, and a lot of it's just kind of confusing, and that's social media. So I'm going to distance myself from social media somewhat next couple of months, because I, like everybody else, right, we all need to operate, and figuring out what is the best way to operate is a bit of a dance sometimes in this digital age. I have no clue the right formula, and I doubt anybody else does. It's tricky. But I am going to be checking to see how people answer that poll, because I would love to see other people's choices. Very curious how people are going to answer it. Not that, I don't know. Some part of me is like, oh, that those choices say a lot about a person's personality. It probably doesn't, really, ultimately. But we shall see. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna do one more thing, which is I'm gonna soften the shading here. I'm just getting an eraser at about 20%. I'm just gonna do a couple passes. Like so. Should be good. Okie doke. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out. I hope y'all had a good time, and we'll do this again next week. And it's gonna be a little different the next couple of months, because I'm not gonna be publishing Trailer Park Warlock. I'll just be making episodes. And like I said, it should be about 2.5 months. So I'm gonna try and figure out some stuff, like how to change it up, how to freshen it up. And also, for all of y'all at the $10 level and above, I am starting to send out your sketches. I've sent out 5. There's 3 more to go. Sorry that I'm taking so long on it. Also, that reminds me. Actually, I don't know if this person is even going to be able to hear it, but I'm going to announce it anyway. I do want to say thanks to EJ Nyman, who is a new Patreon contributor at the $1 level. I appreciate it. Hopefully, you'll be able to see this eventually when this gets released in the free preview months and months from now. But anyway, regardless, thanks to EJ, and hope y'all are all having a good time, staying safe, and I will talk to y'all later, okay? Bye.